Yesterday's price is not today's price.
What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Today's price is not today's price. This is why we do this show. This is why we do the F.O.C. show, the final order cutoff. Thanks, everybody, for coming out live. If you are here live today, we have a very, very special episode. I can't even tell you what it is. It's full of surprises. But if you've been watching my show, you know I have never failed to deliver the goods. But today is exceptional. Someone said on Instagram, they said, dude, all your shows are amazing. I said, yeah, but today's going to be even more amazing-er. So let's get right into it because we got so much. I got to get started. I've said this before. I don't control the market. I just make lists, okay? I'm kind of OCD like that. I like to rank shit. I like to make lists. I like to know what's the top. This is why I do the show. Countdown style, top 10, starting from number 10, working our way up to number 1. As a matter of fact, if you're watching live, I'm curious to know what you guys think is going to be number 1 this week. I want you to put it down in the comments. We know how we do live show. On the live show, guys, the comment section, what do we call ourselves? Hashtag the Trench Gang. So if you're here live, you know you guys is what makes this show awesome. The Trench Gang is here. I am curious to know who you guys think is going to be number 1. Hey, Dr. Muscles, what's going on? Yeah, you guys know Dr. Paul. He's usually a guest on the show. I guess he wanted to hang out in the comments in the trenches with you guys. Ed, dude, you're not ready. Trust me, man. This show is chef's kiss. It's different. Wow, Planet, dude, where have you been? Thank you for hanging out live, man. You're one of the best. And of course, my man Mo, always a pleasure. We always chop it up on Instagram, MA3. Yeah, Dr. Paul, I actually did. I sent it to someone named Dr. Paul. But hey, I tell you what, I guess just hang out and leave your comments. But I am curious. I want you guys to put on your thinking hats, all right? Put in the comments what you think number 1 is going to be this week. I promise you, you won't get it. As a matter of fact, I should do a challenge. If you guess number 1, I should do a giveaway. I should do a key issue giveaway, like Amazing Spider-Man 7 First Spider-Boy or something like that. If you can guess what number 1 is going to be. In fact, I got it on, it's on wax. It's on record. If you could guess number one today, I will send you a near mint plus copy, CGC ready, Amazing Spider-Man number 7. Is it number 7? First Spider-Boy appearance. You guys know what it is. First print. Not going to mess around. All right. You'll get a first print. I'll send it to you for free if you can guess what number one is going to be this week. So let's talk about lists. I mentioned this before that I've actually been doing this a very long time. And for some of you that follow me on Instagram, you know, I got a lot of people who are like fans of my F.O.C. top 10 list. I did a previous show where I showed you guys how much money has been made just by doing my list. Okay, I can't speak for anyone else's, but you can go to my Instagram page. Page is right there underneath my name. All right. And we did a show. You guys know the biggest book of this year of 2023 was none other, my number one pick, Dungeons and Dragons, number 1, the Saturday Morning Adventures. If you took my advice and did a pull box with your store, $4 book, the 1-in-10 ratio, what did it sell for? $90. The biggest selling book of the year was on my F.O.C. list, along with about 25 or 35 other ones, right? And to be quite honest, and this is not even bragging, half the time, if you was to go to like CBSI's top 10 list, their hot 10, and you've guys seen it because I screenshotted it and put it in my story. Half the time, CBSI, who I absolutely love those guys, all right, their hot 10 list is usually half of my F.O.C. list ends up on their hot 10 list. And that's how effective these F.O.C. lists are. But I'm going to do something very special today. I'm going to take you guys back in time. Hold on, Archer moment. There we go. I'm going to take you guys back in time, okay? I mentioned before that I've been doing this for quite a while. But what a lot of you don't know, I've actually been making lists going back 15 years. That's what you guys don't know. I was doing a blog back in 2008. And this, of course, this was back when blogging was relevant, right? Like you were the man if you had a WordPress blog. Like people were bragging about having a career as a blogger on WordPress. And that's how far back I go, okay? I know some of you, I'm new to like Instagram, right? But some people actually know me from doing a blog going back to 2008. And I'm going to show you guys something very interesting, all right? I'm going to do a new feature. The new feature is going to debut right here tonight. I've been doing this and I have a writing partner, right? We're just a couple of comic book heads. We're just a couple of knuckleheads that just sat around. We talked about girls, hip hop music, and comic books. And then one day I got the idea. I'm like, dude, let's share this with the world and get people to come to our blog. And he was like, bet, let's do it. So we actually started a blog. Hey, first of all, thanks everyone for being here live. 7 people here. I better see 7 likes on YouTube right now. 7 people, 7 likes. Appreciate that. But yeah, I'm going to introduce this new feature. And I dug around on the internet. And the cool thing about the internet is everything gets archived. So I actually found one of my old blogs because I haven't blogged in years. I found it and I was like, oh shit. And I called up my homeboy. I texted him. I'm like, bro, I found one of our old blogs. Folks, why am I rambling about a blog? We predicted stuff way back in 2008. And in baseball terms, we're batting like 800. Like we were almost 100% accurate for the stuff we predicted. If you think my F.O.C. list is dope, wait until you see what I'm about to show you. All right, here we go. Now, just as I'm gonna explain it real quick. So my buddy and I, we blogged about everything related to comic books, right? And what we did was we talked about all the different comic books that should be made into TV shows. Now, before I show you this, you have to remember streaming was not a thing in 2008. As a matter of fact, I think Netflix was like 1 year old. And Netflix, if you guys remember, you went online, you ordered your movies, they sent it to you in the mail, these cute little red envelopes. Streaming wasn't even a vernacular yet, all right? So there was no streaming. So we're like, oh, you know, this comic book should be on HBO. This one should be on CBS. This one should be on Fox. So when I show you this list from 15 years ago, and you got to think, I mean, how long ago is 15 years? It might not sound long ago, but if you're like 35, 15 years ago, you were 20, okay? I have a 6 foot tall, 14-year-old teenage son. He wasn't even born when I wrote this blog, okay? My oldest son just graduated from college. This fool was in 3rd grade when I wrote this blog, okay? So I got to give you an idea of how far back this goes, but I'm about to share it with you guys right now. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are, the debut of J-Dub, the Bad Boy Nerds, top comic books that should be made into TV shows right here. And I'm giving you guys a sneak peek into my past. I'm going to blow it up. As you can see, so Jay Katz is the guy from Florida. He ran a website. He found our blog and said, you guys are hilarious. I want you to write for our website. I'm going to introduce you to someone really special. He's my writing partner. And before I bring him in, I need to show you a few things that we wrote 15 years ago. It's going to blow your mind. All right. Deep breath. Here we go. So, first off the bat, I said 100 Bullets Vertigo should absolutely be made into a TV show. Put in the comments if you agree or not. I even explained why it should be. Multiple Emmy winner, a lot of violence. Now, keep in mind, back in 2010, there were some shootings going on. Kick-Ass 2, you know, had some controversy. It was too much violence. So I think everyone kind of bypassed it. But like right now, after seeing what Amazon Prime did with The Boys, now is the time to put 100 Bullets on the air. And I predicted that. I said it way back in 2010, like put 100 Bullets on the air. Let's get it. But guys, listen. I said that Fables, written by Bill Willingham, awesome book. I was like, this would be a great guilty pleasure show because it talks about fairy tales for grown-ups. I predicted it should be on CBS. Again, streaming wasn't around yet. Would you believe that about 2 years afterwards, ABC introduced a show, if you guys remember, called Once Upon a Time? Now, me and my homeboy, he goes by the name of Friday the Daywalker. That's his name. We were like, we think there are people reading our blogs and they might be kind of borrowing ideas. And I'm going to show you why. Friday predicted that The Runaways should be a show. And he said it would be perfect for the CWWB as a breakaway teen hit show. Wouldn't you know it? I think it was on USA, and I think it was around 2017. We were ahead of the curve by 7 years, all right? 7 years. Now, here's the one. These next two are going to blow your mind, okay? Remember, I'm writing a blog, all right? I'm just a guy and a guy. We're writing a blog. I think Dr. Paul's going to like this one. I predicted, as a huge fan of Brian Michael Bendis and Alex Maleev, I think he was the artist, I predicted that Alias would be an amazing show. And I said, and I quote, Jessica Jones should star on TNT. Now, back then, if you guys remember, a certain woman named Sarah Pacelli, does that name ring a bell? She had a great show, Witchblade. It turned into a superhero cop show. So I said, Marvel needs to take Alias, aka Jessica Jones, and adapt it. Strong female character lead, great character development, well written script with snappy, dry humor. And I also said we can see special surprise guests from Marvel's street level superheroes like Daredevil and Luke Cage. Damn it, did I basically almost predict the Defenders on Netflix back in 2008, 2009, 2010? It gets better. Guys, let's go ahead and bring in our special guest. I hit him up. I said, God, dude, you got to get on the show because I want to introduce people to you. I think that sometimes when I talk, people are like, yeah, this guy J Dub's full of himself. He can't possibly be that good. Or can I? Let's find out. Right now, I'm going to bring in my homeboy Friday. Friday, if you're listening, if you're ready, hop on in, man.
Oh, man.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for making it to the show. All right, so folks, this is a very special guest. This guy, he is my military buddy. We go back 25 years. We're both, there's two things we're both like right there. We're both hardcore hip hop heads, and we're both comic book junkies and just fanboys in general. So, Friday, if you could, for the people, explain to them, give them a snapshot of what our life was like way back in 2008 and what we were doing online.
Oh, man, it was it was a different time. I mean, we were both just freshly married. You know, it only been less than like 5 years each.
Right.
You know, you had a son. I didn't have any children.
Right.
You know, you had just moved to Austin.
Yes.
I remember that. You had just moved to Austin. You said, we need to start a blog. And I was like, a blog, like, but people were listening to you. You convinced me. People were listening to your voice. And I didn't know how big we were going to get. By the way, I'm still in contact with Jay Katz via Twitter. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but he owns a virtual comic book store.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Tell the people what it was like in those early years when we were writing all those articles, and damn near everything we wrote, it almost like materialized.
Oh God, we kind of like brainstormed everything, or if I had an idea, we would constantly texting each other. It was like we were in a full blown relationship with each other. We text so much, just shooting ideas to each other. But that's how we've always been. We've been able to play off of each other. Just the whole TV show idea thing, that was just the fanboy in me. Like, I'd like to see these characters brought to life. I totally believe that you called that whole Jessica Jones thing. I think somebody totally ripped that from the blog.
I almost feel like it. It's funny. Sometimes because I'm like 100% on Instagram. Every once in a while, I see something pop up, and I'm like, I know that just, it's a little bit too much on the nose. You know what I mean?
I think what's crazy about everything is, like you're scrolling the internet and you're seeing stuff that's been archived from things that we wrote 15 years ago. I don't even think to look at things like that anymore. I mean, we had the top 10 list, we had the comic books that should be made into movies, the what if section, the weekly hottie, we had categories, we were just, had we known YouTube was going to be what it was, we could have had our YouTube show,
Yeah, exactly.
Possibilities were endless.
That's what's crazy. 08, 09,
yeah,
YouTube wasn't even popping yet. It was, we had thousands of people visiting our blogs. It was nuts.
Correct.
I got to show you this. So you predicted Runways, but then you predicted Young Justice. You said it would make a great edgy Fox young adult show. This was funny to me because you literally said that make it edgy and make it dark because Robin's in it. What does that sound like today?
Sounds like Titans.
It's
It sounds like somebody took my idea and was like, yeah, let's do it. And when we do it, let's just drop that trailer where Robin just says, fuck Batman. And that was it.
That was it. And it's one thing to have an original idea. It's another thing to spell it out exactly and then to see it exactly come to life. Let me show you what I wrote for Heroes for Hire. And you're going to remember this. You remember I said it will be a great eye candy action show. I based it on Civil War Heroes for Hire. Listen to what I said. The lineup: Misty Knight, Black Cat, Paladin, Shang-Chi. I said, forget Danny Rand. Iron Fist would be supplemental. What ended up happening? Iron Fist didn't hit as hard as the other ones.
Iron Fist was terrible. I'm sorry. There are people who loved Iron Fist. I thought Iron Fist was horrible. I thought the casting was wrong. I thought the writing was wrong. The action was wrong. It was not my cup of tea.
It's funny that I saw that way back then.
Yeah.
But I said, listen to what I wrote. I said, Luke Cage will be the hardcore slang talking street muscle of the operation. Eye candy, guilty pleasure. What did we end up getting? We ended up getting Netflix Defenders. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage. Yeah. And they introduced Misty Knight. I mean, the stuff we did was so prescient and so just way ahead of its time. Oh, yeah. I still want to see Gru. Listen, I said back in 2010, I said Gru is like it's like Conan, The Simpsons, and Monty Python put together. I think it'll work.
And you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I think it will work as an Amazon show. Amazon's they're kind of like left field with their original content. You know, I mean, they hit it out of the park with Invincible. I mean, Invincible is like, it's great.
Absolutely. And Invincible, you know what's interesting is I think Invincible was barely out when we made our list, so it didn't even make our list back then.
Yeah.
Dr. Paul says Gru's option. I didn't even know that.
God, when we were making those lists, I think it was like season 1 of The Walking Dead.
it was actually season 1 of The Walking Dead. Yeah.
Yeah, we were trying to catch up on that every week. Like, Heroes. We were still watching Heroes because we had a blog on that.
I mean, you're reaching way, way back. But
I'm going back.
It's funny. I just find it's so for me, like doing the F.O.C. top 10 list on Instagram, for me, is like the natural progression. So basically, I'm doing that. But tonight, I'm bringing it back, baby. I'm bringing it back. So if you can stick around for 5 more minutes.
Yeah, go for it.
I want to look at 5 more books that should be optioned for streaming. Can we do that real quick?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, everybody watching live, here we go. Tonight is the debut. J-Dub, the bad boy nerd. Here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more books that I think should be optioned as a streaming show. And I have my main man here, Friday. He was my writing partner. We were predicting stuff way back in 2010, and most of it actually came true. So here we are. Here's one that should definitely be. Saga is just so dope. I'm just like, this, there's no reason why this shouldn't be adapted. Oh, you know what? Bruh, let me show you something real quick. And everyone watching, let me show you guys something. So I hopped back online. Bruh, check this out. This was like it's 4 years now. This was 4 years ago when I got back into comic books. And I said, I'm going to do an updated version. And this is what I came up with. You tell me what you think about it. When I show you this list, you're going to be like, oh, dog, that's dope. Hold on, here we go. Let me find it real quick. Right. I think, here it is. Volume 2. There it is. All right. Tell me what you think about Challenges of the Unknown. I think it'll be amazing.
I think that could work as a sci-fi flick. You can even throw that on Apple Plus with all the sci-fi stuff they do.
Yeah. At the time I did it, at the time I suggested it, I was thinking of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but kind of like X-Files, because they deal with for the DC universe, they deal with like mystical stuff, kind of FBI stuff. What I liked about it was like each member of the team had their own like skill set that they brought to the team. So I was kind of thinking like A-teams.
Which, also when you do it like that, everybody gets backstory. It's good. It's good for character development. You can get more than one season out of it when you do it like that, because everybody's going to want to know the background. Especially people like me who I haven't read comic books in a long, long time.
Exactly.
So I still have my issues with stuff that the MCU's putting out, but I swallow my pill and I'm like, oh, they've updated it for modern times, or it's part of the 616 universe or things of that nature. But it's for like my kids, who I just like recently started introducing them to comics, and I started them on like the new Teen Titans, and my son's big into Miles Morales, Spider-Man. When they start asking questions. Yeah, when they start asking questions, I'm like, we got to go back. Like, I got to pop open the trunk of goodness that I have in my closet, and like, here's like Spider-Man when Peter Parker and Mary Jane got married. Here's the Clone Wars. Oh my God, with Ben Reilly.
Wow, you're bringing up some classics, and all of those books are blowing up right now. That's crazy. Dude, I wrote this article in 2019. Look what I put on this list. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Bruh, I said we need Sandman, and we need it now. Lo and behold, Sandman became.
We got Sandman.
Bruh, literally anything steampunk. I'm like, what is taking y'all so long? Lady Mechanica, steampunk, Battle Chasers just came back. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, great movie. Sean Connery. Why not make it a streaming series?
You could actually just make that a series. It'd be dope.
Robert Kirkman, everything he touches is gold. He did an amazing series called Thief of Thieves. I say we put John Hamm to star as the main character, Redmond. This is a hit show waiting to happen. Gru. When I wrote this, I said Naomi be a hit show, and they actually turned it into a show. It was okay.
Yeah, very short-lived. Like Batwoman. Vixen was like a one-off series. They did for the CW. It was animated. It was like an animated movie, but they had Grant Gustin from The Flash and Stephen Amell from Arrow. A lot of the stuff that I didn't get to see, if it pops up on Max, dude, I'm soaking it all up. I just introduced my kids to Justice League and Ruby. They're like,
yes.
Oh, I love the Justice League. I'm like, I don't know anything about Ruby, so I need to bone up on Ruby now.
Right.
But it was amazing. Just they only dropped part 1, but I'm waiting for part 2.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick actually. I read Justice League Ruby.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Big fan. Like, the story was great.
When I got back into comic books in 2019, this was the big book out, and I don't know if this is optioned or not, but it should be. Something is Killing the Children is pretty dope. Pretty dope. Love the character. I think you'll like that one as well. And I'm gonna go ahead and show one more, because I know you got to get out of here. But of all the books that need to be turned into one, I already said 100 Bullets. I'm just waiting for that to happen. This right here is one of the best books I ever read in my life.
Yo, didn't you predicted Why the Last Man?
Yeah, I actually predicted that Why the Last Man should be a great series. I said that Shia LaBeouf should have played Yorick.
I mean, the guy who played him he ended up doing a really good job. It's just, I don't know, it fell by the wayside. It was good when it was on. I watched it. Yeah.
Well, who was that? I think that was Brian K. Vaughan, I think, wrote that. And I was like, dude, I can totally see Shia playing Yorick in this show if they did whatever they did with it.
Right.
King Rock this is like one of the best books you could possibly read. I strongly suggest it. But yeah, man, I'm glad that I had someone to like kind of validate everything that I talk about every week, because like I said, you and I go back 25 years. We were writing blogs back when blogging was relevant.
I just so happened to walk past your door, and you had drawn the cover of X-Men #1 on your door. And I said, I don't know who this person is, but I need to know him.
That's another thing I don't talk about. I'm a damn good artist. I don't even talk about that part.
Man, I haven't picked up a pencil in a minute.
Yeah, man.
I haven't sketched. I sketch every once in a while for the kids. I'm like, man, I still kind of got it, but you know, I don't go hardcore every day like I used to back when we were children.
Right. Well, dude, I'm glad you got a chance to hop on the show. I do this about every other week. I'm going to do this next week. Next week's show, guys, is going to be epic. Next week's list is going to be epic. So, man, anytime you want, man, if you just want to chop it up, you just let me know.
Yeah.
Cool, man. All right, man. Hey, I'll see you around the way. You got my number.
Hey, appreciate it, bro.
All right. Thanks for stopping in.
Thank you.
Yeah, folks, there you have it. So, yeah, he was my writing partner. So I've actually, it's funny. I get feedback on Instagram, but I've had my detractors, some haters, if you will, which is fine. That's cool and all. I always say if you got haters, that means you're doing something right. But it's interesting because some people are like, oh, this guy, the bad boy nerd, he gets lucky. Like, oh, how could he guess My Little Pony will blow up? Because I'm good at this. I've been doing this a long time. All right. And I do a lot of research. I do a lot of reading. And as you can see, I'm pretty good at reading the market and making predictions. Is everything I'm going to put on the list going to blow up? Of course not. It's just fun. It's for fun. But as Dr. Paul pointed out, PhD guru when it comes to financial investing, came on the show, validated my picks. And he said, yeah, these are strong picks. It's a very viable list. And we do it for fun. But also, like I say, I don't control the market. I just make lists. That being said, so about 2 months ago, I'm on Instagram. And I got to tell you guys, if I wasn't talking about comic books, I would be talking about movies. I freaking love movies. I love everything about movies. And I'm OCD. I like to rank movies. I like to categorize movies. I can tell you right now, I have Die Hard. It's my favorite action movie of all time. I have the poster hanging up in my room. I got my entourage guys behind me. So, I'm on Instagram and it pops in my feed, just guy just rambling about lists of movies. And I'm like, holy shit, like that's it right there. I had like a whole Leonardo DiCaprio Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the meme where he's all like, oh yeah, that right there. So I see this guy and I got to show you real quick. This guy pops in my feed and he's talking about like just movies. And I'm just like, yeah, that's exactly what I would do if I wasn't talking about comic books. So I'm going to share a quick clip and we're going to get this guy on here in a few minutes. But this right here, this would be me if I wasn't talking about comic books, but he does it so much better than me. Let's take a listen.
Star Wars, but they passed on it because they had budgetary concerns, and that loss hardly makes up for this win because American Graffiti, it grossed $140 million worldwide at the box office, including $115 million domestically, which today, adjusted for inflation, is about $615 million. The original script had 75 songs that George Lucas wanted to license, which would have been ungodly expensive.
Oh, man, I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, this guy has 9,000 something followers, which I would say adjusted for inflation comes out to like 50,000 followers based on what he does. I'm just happy to have on my show today none other than the man himself, Tanner of Tanner's Culture Cranium, I think it is. Tanner, what's going on?
Yeah, listen, there's a story behind it. So it's like Tanner's Cranium was the original. And I was like, I had this brand idea off of all of it. So I started Tanner's Cranium and I did sports content and I have like 100,000 TikTok followers, like 8.1 million likes. And then one day I decided to do movie stuff because that's my background. I'm in the movie business, and people went crazy for it. But I realized the crossover wasn't great. So I was like, all right, I'm going to make the Tanner's Cranium the brand, and then I'm going to have Tanner's Sports Cranium. I'm going to have Tanner's Culture Cranium. So 2 months ago, I started the Tanner's Culture Cranium, which is the page that you were looking at. I started like 2 months ago.
You know what I love about your approach? You cram so much information in like a 1 minute reel. And I'm just like, God, this guy is so on it. It's like watching me, but better.
Well,
and tell me, how did you even get into this, and what led you to Instagram?
All right,
so, give us your background.
Okay, so how long we got here? You and Friday were talking about hip hop, and I was like, man, stay on. I want to talk about hip hop because I'm a hip hop kid. Like, I'm a hip hop head, like you guys are. I view a 60-second video as a 3-act break of a movie, and so I have my hook, I have my messaging, and then I have Friday, hop back on. We got to talk hip hop. I have a question for you real quick.
All right. I'll see if he wants to. If you're still around, man, let me know if you want to hop back on. Give me a thumbs up. I can see you, but go ahead.
So I look at all these. There he is. All right. So we're all hip hop heads, right? And
yes.
Okay. And we grew up in a time and place where it's the era of hip hop, the golden era of hip hop. DMX, Eminem. What is your defining hip hop album that if you had one on a deserted island, you would choose to take with you? Because it's loaded. I think I'm just going to rant real quick and what you think. Eric B. and Rakim is the most influential hip hop album of all time, right? Eminem for me is the most important hip hop album of all time. I think Machiavelli, the 7-Day Theory is Tupac's best album because it's the most condensed, where All Eyes on Me is more bloated. DMX's Dark and Hell is Hot's got a campaign. The Chronic is Out of Control. Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. Which one are we picking? What are you picking, Friday?
All right, for me, it's going to be a coin toss, and I can go either way. I'm good. Outkast ATLians. And I know Will's going to appreciate this, Bone Thugs and Harmony, because he knows that's my favorite group of all time, East 1990 Eternal.
1990 Eternal? Yeah, with Crossroads? Yes. Dude, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And I want the original Crossroads. I do not want the one that won all the Grammys. That they played that song out for me. I need the original Crossroads, the one that they wrote about their friends.
Yeah. That's a true hip hop head right there.
All right, Jay, what are you doing? Who are you taking?
I've thought about this again. OCD. I love lists. This answer has changed about 20 different times.
Okay.
But if I'm stuck on an island and I can only listen to one album over and over and never get bored of it, it's going to have to be The Chronic for many reasons.
Honestly, I thought you were going to say Hard Knock Life Volume 2 as much as you made us listen to that album.
Blueprint's better, though. Blueprint is better than Hard Knock Life.
You got to understand, in 98, we were in Germany. And hip hop was not that big, so we had to go literally digging through the crates in the German hip hop stores, and we would find albums that hadn't been released in the States yet. There was a Wu-Tang album that only got released overseas.
Once upon a time.
And actually, I think that's it. There was a Rainbow album that RZA released, but I mean, you can ask Will. Like every Friday, we were out in the streets and we were trying to find whoever had the newest CD out. I mean, I can tell you straight up, DMX's Dark and Hell and Hot. I've listened to that album front to back. There's not a song I would skip on that.
We both agree that 1998 is probably the single greatest year in hip hop.
Yeah. You remember when Gabby Dog came out and Funk Flex played it on Hot 97 6 times in a row? And before because he hadn't heard it, and it got slipped to him, and he was just so blown away by DMX's aggression. It's like little things like that when I hear, I was listening to Travis Scott's new album, just trying to understand things.
Like Jay-Z said, DMX came and he changed the game. Like Puffy was doing the shiny suit thing, and DMX brought it back to that hardcore gritty shit that everybody loves.
Didn't he have a freestyle battle and Jay-Z said it's like the only time Jay-Z got murked. I'll say that Jay-Z got murked on Renegade by M and Brooklyn's Finest by Biggie. That's why you can never make him the GOAT, but that's another story for another time. About how,
yeah, I knew there was a reason I liked you, Tanner.
No, when you guys were talking, I was just sitting here smiling. I'm like, these guys are my friends in a different life, and I'm really happy with that right now. But Jay-Z talked about how they did freestyle, and DMX went for like 24 minutes. It's just stop. Like, and I read his book when I was in the 6th grade. Did you know he lost his virginity at age 8? Yeah.
I heard something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard the rumor on that. The only thing I kind of miss about that whole era is that the whole Murder Inc. didn't come through. Him, Jay-Z, DMX, and Ja Rule. I kind of wish that had popped off because I would have loved those albums.
Yeah, Irv Gotti though.
I gotta ask you, man. Did your love of hip hop lead you into the movie industry? Was that some kind of like progression?
I think what you guys are, I think when we were growing up, there's like, I'm a white kid from the suburbs of Minneapolis, right? But I grew up a hip hop head who was really good at basketball. And when we were growing up, it was there's a stigma attached to that, like you're trying to be something that you're not. When I'm just like, this is what I like. This is what my friends like. This is what I like. And so I gravitated towards sports and I gravitated towards music. And I was good at basketball and I had no talent whatsoever at music. But I had talent for performance.
I was the opposite.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, this guy could not play ball to save his life, but he's got bars.
You got bars?
I love music. I don't have bars, but I do have skills on the court.
I had no bars. I tried. I really, really tried. But it wasn't going for me. So yeah.
I mean, we used to go perform at shows in Germany, Jay's known. He's known for sitting in on studio sessions with us. It was a different time then. I was trying to get signed by Sony in Germany, and they turned me away at the door. They said you can't drop your demo tape off here. You have to mail it in.
I was dating a girl in Germany for the last year. We just broke up like 4 months ago, so I was back and forth from Frankfurt like every 6 weeks.
Oh, Frankfurt is our old stomping ground.
That's home right there.
Yeah, that's our second home.
Yeah, no, Frankfurt's awesome. But I got into, so I was a model growing up. I know that's really weird to say. Like my parents got me into modeling, and with modeling, when you're with an agency, they make you take acting classes, and I really liked the acting classes. And I booked an ad for, I think it was Hanes or something like that, and I was like in 8th grade, and you're all these cameras, and you got to be in your underwear and stuff like that in front of everybody. I'm like, and I'm a kid, like I felt uncomfortable, and I missed a basketball tournament, so I quit. I literally walked off the set. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm gonna go play sports with my friends. So then all through high school, I played sports, and then I went and played college basketball. And I was in my 2nd year of college basketball, and I had this thing. I'm like, I need to perform. I need to do something. And I stayed awake for 3 nights, and the Dark Knight trailer dropped the same day Heath Ledger died. And I came back from class in a blizzard, and I go into my room, and this is before the days of YouTube, and I see it on CNN. And I'm like, and I remember seeing the trailer, and Heath Ledger died, and going, wait, that's the guy who did Knight's Tale?
Yep.
He can transform like that. And I had this like epiphany moment when you kind of like don't feel like you fit in a little bit, that you can kind of mold yourself personality wise to fit into where you want to. Like this can be an artistic expression. So like that's a long way of answering. That's kind of how I came into it. But then you apply the same rigorous training to it that you would sports. You know what I mean? So for me, understanding how a story works. So you guys were talking about like I live in Hollywood. I know a lot of these people that you're talking about. And it's just like you talk about Kirkman, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, but you understand.
Tanner, let me throw a name out here, because this guy, when you talk about 6 degrees of separation, I swear to God, this guy knows everyone. He happens to write one of my favorite comic books, Philadelphia. Do you happen to know Rodney Barnes?
No.
He's also the executive producer of The Boondocks, which is one of my favorite cartoons. animated series.
No, I'm not familiar, but you're talking about Titans, and Alan was on Titans, and I produced Turkey Bowl, and Alan's now Jack Reacher, and Alan's one of my friends, and we shared
Alan Ritchie, man, you and I, we're best friends now. Alan Ritchie's one of my favorites.
Come through. We're talking about movies and hip hop, so you guys have me forever. Whatever you want to come in and talk about movies and hip hop, I'm here.
I knew there was a reason I liked you, because I'm gonna share this screen. I have you on. I have you saved, and I have you on. What do you call it? Alerts. So literally every time you release something, I'm like, yo, there he is, and there he is, man, right there. Like, dude, yeah, like your stuff is epic. I urge everyone to like follow Tanner. I didn't even know you worked in the industry. I just thought you were just a colossal nerd like I am.
This is just fun. It blew up. Like, I started 2 months ago, and it's like, I have my TikTok account. So it's so funny you guys talk about top 10 lists. So about a year ago, I was grinding, trying to get movies made and stuff, and writing and doing all this stuff. And I was like, I needed something for myself. So I started doing basketball lists, and I called it Top 10 with Tanner. And I started just counting them down, because I have like this encyclopedic knowledge, and it kind of like blew up. In a month, it like went from nothing to, I remember like waking up one morning and I had 4 videos with over 1 million views. I had like 20,000 followers. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And then you start recognizing you have a responsibility, because people are listening to you. You can't just get on there and talk shit, which is what I was doing. And so with the Culture's Cranium stuff, I put the history lessons every day in my stories. So I'll do today in history. This is what occurred, because I feel like kids don't understand history, and it's that old notion: don't remember where you came from. You're going to do the same thing over again, and that's how history repeats itself. And so I do that because I realized I had a voice. And then with the Culture's Cranium stuff, it was, for me, how do you educate people on the nuances of filmmaking and how like the below the line and the budgets and the cash flow assessments work, so they understand the mechanism of the business, because everybody just looks at it from an entertaining argument. And in this day and age with streaming and with the writer's strike and the actor's strike, what are we really getting at with these things? What are we fighting for? And the more people understand the capitalistic society, I feel like the better off we are in understanding how these things get made. So,
man, I got to tell you, man, I didn't know that you worked in Hollywood, and I had no idea. Like I said, I follow your list, and I was like, dude, this is what I would be doing. That's another thing Friday night talk about. We talk about our favorite movies, and we wrap it all together. Hip hop, comic books, movies, all that. So when I saw you,
I will destroy his Facebook post if he put something up there I don't like. I'll tear him apart. He liked that. What was that show, The Citadel or whatever? I was like, nah, that was not. I'm sorry, it was not good.
What's your favorite movie?
I can quote Friday, where I literally got my nickname from. From front to back. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is probably the movie I can watch anytime it's on. But my ultimate favorite movie is Forrest Gump. It doesn't matter what format it's on. It doesn't matter where in the movie it's at. I will drop everything and I will watch it.
Yeah. Jay, what about you?
It's behind me.
Die Hard, you said the action film. Is that it? Is it like blanket? Like, no, anytime, any day, any movie?
I mean, I watch it. I watch it faithfully once a month just because. Other than that, it'll be like Heat, Al Pacino, just epic crime saga. You got Pacino and Robert De Niro. I can quote the whole diner scene. Like, I can act it out.
Have you read the book, the second book?
No, I have not.
Okay, I'm going to read it. I just finished the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood book for the second time, and I'm going to read the Heat 2 book for the second time, because I felt like I missed the nuances a little bit. But
yeah, man.
Yeah, dude.
What about you?
Go Will Hunting. Go Will Hunting.
Great movie. That's a great movie.
Because I think it's like the American dream, like in real life. Like, it's like you got two, like it's you two guys. Like it's Jay and Friday. You two guys that from an early age are obsessed with this thing that not a lot of people really get, but you have this kinship and you're connected and you believe in one another and like, fuck the world. This is us. and we're gonna bet on ourselves, and we believe it. And if we got each other, we're good. And that's kind of what Matt and Ben did. They built this vortex around them, and they kind of wrote their own tickets, so to speak. And then you add the nuances of, I've never seen Van Zandt do a better film, and I've never seen Robin Williams give a better performance. And now with time passing, Williams is easily, you can look at Eddie Murphy, you can look at Jim Carrey, the greatest stand-up comedians turning to serious acting. He's the best. Because he has the heart, he has the nuance. And so that movie's a perfect film. I love In Bruges, Martin McDonagh.
I know about that one.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. I'm a sucker for Braveheart, so those ones. Dark Knight, man. That's the movie that changed my life.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I just saw Oppenheimer a couple of weeks ago. That was pretty good too.
Yeah, I saw it. It was real good. I'm gonna go again. I gotta go to Barbie. So I accidentally, I'll tell you a funny story real quick. So
go ahead.
I live right next to the Chinese theater where they host the Oscars in LA.
Grauman's?
Yeah. I live a block.
You live next door to Grauman's?
I live a block away. So I literally, that's my go-to theater. So I'm like,
wow, nice.
Man, you know what? I'm gonna go to Barbie. I'm going to get high. I'm going to go to Barbie. I'm going to throw on my pink shirt. I'm going to walk down there. So I take my weed edible. I walk down to Grauman's Theater. I buy one ticket to Barbie. And the guy's like, there you go, sir, theater number 3. I take my ticket. I go, thank you so much. I go grab popcorn, my soda, my Sour Patch Kids, and I go into theater 3, and I'm laid out. I'm spread out. I'm ready to rock for some Barbie. I got that pink jam on. And 30 minutes pass. And I'm like,
I'm going Saturday. I'm going Saturday to see Barbie.
He's got a little girl. You taking her, right?
What? I was gonna go without her, but she told me to wait till she came back from vacation. Like she didn't grow up with Barbie. She didn't know what Barbie was, so I introduced her to Barbie. So I'm me and wife. We were like, "Yo, we're gonna go." We watched the trailer. I was like, "Man, this looks hilarious."
I gotta be honest. Your little girl's one of the coolest people. She would be great on YouTube, man. You should foster that.
I swear, I think she wants to be a social media star. I gotta alert her to the dangers of the internet first. We gotta have a deep conversation about that so she understands. Get her.
Is she there?
No, my son's here. He's getting ready to go to the store with his uncle.
Okay.
He just gave me a Legend of Zelda sword. See, I got my son playing Legend of Zelda on the Switch, and he's playing them all. We started with the original. We already beat the Minish Cap. He's playing Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild at the same time. And then he just started playing Ocarina of Time.
Damn, you're raising him great, man.
Super nerds.
He's got the best at it. Yeah.
No. My kids have to start off on 8-bit. My son is a Mario head, but he played Mario 1 first. I didn't bring him into, Super Mario Odyssey, although he's beat that game twice.
Yeah.
But we started him on the OG. Like, you're going to play with the crappy graphics and you can't tell whether or not Mario is blinking or who Luigi is when he's got the fire flower. They both got the same costume on. So
basically you started him off as a gaming private and he had to come up through the ranks.
That is correct. Like now when I can't beat something, I give him the controller. We played the because the Switch, they dropped all of those Legend of Zelda games. He started playing the Minish Cap, and I was like, man, I hadn't played this one. It was on Game Boy or Game Boy Color. So I haven't played this one. So we started playing it. I got into it, and we started playing it together, and he couldn't figure out some part, and I stayed up all night until I figured it out. And then I got through that, and I said, man, we're at the last dude. And I let him play it. He's like, I can't beat him. I was like, you can't quit. I was like, there's no quitting. Like, you have to play until you destroy this dude. And it took him like 5 tries, but he beat him.
Yeah, you're like the Joseph Jackson of parenting gaming.
without the beatings. Without the beatings.
Tanner, what about you, man? Were you big into gaming at all?
I bought a PlayStation 5. And I hadn't played a video game in about 5 years, and it took me 2 hours to figure out how to turn it on.
Oh,
so
that's all right. I still have my son playing my PS3. I have him playing like puzzle games. He doesn't know that Call of Duty, Fortnite. He doesn't play any of that. I don't have him playing the violent stuff. Grand Theft Auto. He plays like Plants vs. Zombies. That's a puzzle game. Tetris. Like you got to start off on the easy games, and then you go into the other games.
The last game I played was GoldenEye, and I couldn't beat the control room, so that made me retire. And that was like,
Bro, he just took it all the way back to the barracks, man. We played the hell out of
Yo, you want some hot death, Will? Huh? You want some hot death? That was our code for let's get lunch, and we're just gonna go play for the entire lunch hour. We're just gonna go play GoldenEye. And that's what we did. We run tournaments.
Room. It would the timer would tick down. It was impossible to beat the control room.
Oh man, you just had to know a guy. You got to know a guy that knows a guy.
Yeah.
There were guys that, they were just good with they just had good thumb dexterity because that's all they do on the weekends is play GoldenEye. Will and I, we had other adventures to get into. Russians.
Oh God, that's a whole nother story and a whole nother YouTube show, man.
Yes.
Hey, you think what's that comedian's name that was over in Russia? The Machine.
Bert Kreischer.
Yeah, you think he had stories? Me and Friday have stories that I'm sure top his.
Stories.
Yeah. But guys, I have to get to my comic book F.O.C. top 10 list. I can't even say enough how fun this has been. Tanner, your status just elevated, man. Yeah, absolutely.
I have the top. If you like sports, I have Tanner's Cranium on TikTok. That's like the big page. If you guys ever, if you've seen my face before, that's probably where. But the Tanner's Culture Cranium, I got some bangers coming. I got like 145 drafts on my phone right now.
Hey, you know what?
You got content.
Your page probably looks like mine.
Jay, I made up my next list. I got like, you know how long it takes to take numbers and then put them in an inflation calculator and adjust for every one of them and then rank them out.
All right, so let me ask you this: you play basketball, right? So clearly that's your favorite sport. I'm not even going to assume. I'm just going to act like I pretty much know. Like you and I grew up together. The GOAT. Let's talk.
Stop it.
No, we can't. We got to hold. We're going to have to hold that for another show. We're going to be here all night. Guys, I got to do my FOC top 10 list because people are definitely waiting for it. If you guys want to hang out and go through it, you're totally welcome to. But
I'm gonna run. I got to eat dinner at 6:30 here in LA. But
yeah,
have me on sometime, Jay. Friday was nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Good to have you on, man. Appreciate it, man.
See you guys. Cheers.
Later, man. Yeah, that's Tanner. I didn't even know he was a Hollywood producer / writer / actor. I just thought he was a cool dude.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Hey, you get to your list. I'm gonna go play a little bit of Zelda. Like I said, my son came in here and handed me the Switch. I'm not even making that up. He handed me the Switch. So.
Awesome. Hey, this show actually turned out better. We went way over time, but I don't care because it's great to get one of my longtime friends on here. And I think you and I just made a new friend with Tanner. We might have to go out to LA and hang out at his spot right next to Grauman's Chinese Theater. Can it get better than that?
West, y'all.
Take it easy, man.
All right, bro.
All right, there it is, folks. Apologize for going late, but sometimes things happen, especially live. And, with Tanner, I wasn't even sure of his pedigree. Tanner, you guys, you should follow him on Instagram. He's a great follow. I saw him and I was like, dude, this guy, I thought I knew everything about movies. I was like, this guy knows everything about movies. And now it makes sense because obviously Tanner's in the movie business. I didn't even know that. I just found that out tonight, just like you did. So yeah, Instagram, Tanner's Culture Cranium. Definitely get this guy a follow. He's one of my favorite follows on Instagram. He's awesome. I definitely appreciate him for coming on the show. Toom, welcome to the show. Yeah, we went long, so here we go. Let's get it going. A lot of people came in and left. Here we go, guys. Let's go ahead and get this going. FOC top 10 this week. Coming in at number 10. Listen, for me, this is a selfish pick. I love this series. Alice Never After, absolutely love it. I suggest everyone read it. It's a great read. This cover it's very dark. All right, it takes a very dark look at the Alice in Wonderland storyline. Excellent read, excellent artwork. Alice Never After #2. You're looking at cover C. This is cover C. This is the Virgin cover. This is the 1 in 10. Yeah. Oh, amazing cover, dude. I absolutely love that cover. So do I. But yeah, Alice, I think in my previous season, when it first debuted, she pretty much cracked every top 10 list because it's just such a dope book. I absolutely love it. I suggest you guys check it out as well. It's a very trippy book. It's the dark side of Alice in Wonderland. Who out there remembers when I suggested the evil Peter Pan, Never Never, and that ended up blowing up? Alice Never After is similar to that. So yeah, cracked the top 10, coming in at number 10. Coming in at number 9. Here we go. Ghost Rider Wolverine, Weapons of Vengeance. So last week was weird. I had too much going on with work. I didn't even have time to put my list together. But the thing about last week was I knew what the top 3 were. All right. In fact, I had the top 5. I didn't have time to flesh out 6 through 10. So I was like, all right, we're just going to do a top 10, top 3. Wolverine Ghost Rider made the top 3. Introduces a new villain called, what's that guy's name? Stitcher. Plus, I'm like, look, we're all Wolverine fans. Anytime Wolverine and Ghost Rider get together, all kind of chaos happen. I feel like it's going to crack the top 10. Love the cover. Love these two together. It's metal on metal. It's Hellfire. It's Change. It's Snickting. How can you not have it on the top 10? So coming in at number 9. Now, this one, I'm curious what you guys think about this one. Coming in at number 8. I'm going to put that up there real quick. There we go. This was announced way early in the year, and I've been waiting for it to debut. It's finally hitting the F.O.Cs. Action Comics Doomsday Special number 1. There we go. Ed said his number 1 guess is Transformers. Ed, that's a very good guess. Oh, by the way, if you're just now joining, if you watch the show, if you can guess the number 1, I'm going to send you a free copy of Spider-Man 7. Is it Spider-Man 6 or 7? I think it's 7. Spider-Man 7, the first appearance of Spider-Boy, first print on me, if you happen to guess it. Ed says he thinks number 1 is going to be Transformers. We shall see. Doomsday Special. Doomsday, stuck in hell. He escapes. He goes up against Supergirl and Martian Manhunter. There's a lot of wacky rumors about this possibly being a death of Supergirl. I don't know. I just don't see them killing Supergirl just because she fights Doomsday. But it does debut his Doomhounds for whatever that's worth. Sometimes DC Comics surprises you, and I hate that about them because they're so inconsistent. For every, whatever, they introduce something cool like Superman Corps, which I absolutely love. So I felt conflicted to not have this on my top 10. Yeah, this is a fire cover. I absolutely love it. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. But coming in at number 8, let's go ahead and move along. Now, this next one, I don't know. Again, coming in at number 7, X-Men 26. Now, here's the thing about this book. It's supposed to be the wedding of Tony Stark and Emma Frost. I'm calling Fugazi on that. We both know how they are. They're my 2 favorite self-absorbed people in the Marvel Universe. I don't see them getting over themselves long enough to actually have an actual wedding / marriage. Personally, I think it's some kind of sham. If you've been reading Invincible Iron Man, you kind of know what's going on with him and Emma Frost. They're presenting it as if it's like the wedding of the year. But the corner box variant is pretty dope. All right. So the corner box variant is why I cracked the list. If you want to get the connecting variant, X-Men 26 is the cover A connecting. Invincible Iron Man 10 is the Tony Stark cover connecting. And so there you have it. Really, just for the corner box dopeness alone, it makes it for that variant. And there you have it at number 6. All right. No, number 7, my bad. Coming in at number 6. This is going to make my homeboy in Houston, JT, very happy. JT's always giving me shit because I'm always putting Star Wars. But guys, I'm sorry. Star Wars is very spec heavy. I mean, there's no way around it. You can't escape it. He's not a big fan of it. I love when he hits me up. He talks shit to me about Star Wars. Coming in at number 6. Guess what? It's Star Wars, baby. That's right. Dark Droids, great story. Read it today. Love the story. Charles Soule is one of my favorite writers. He did 8 Billion Genies. He did Hell to Pay. Both books got optioned. He's known for actually writing Star Wars novels. And now this guy's writing Star Wars comic books. It can't go wrong. Absolutely, Star Wars sells. It's got a built-in audience, 50 years deep. What can you say? Dark Droid Connecting, Star Wars number 38, and Dark Droids number 2. If you're a Star Wars fan like I am, pre-order those connecting variants. Don't miss out on those. They're worth it. Now, guys, I'm very excited about this next one. Yes, everyone start filtering back in. Okay, filter back in. We're in the middle of the top 10. Here it is. So here we go. Coming in at number 5. Birds of Prey. Now, let me tell you something. Yes, it's a DC book. Yes, this is like the 3rd version of Birds of Prey in as many years. However, this is written by none other than Kelly Thompson. I freaking love Kelly Thompson. Love her writing. Her, what was this she did? Her Black Widow. Was it Black Widow she did? Oh, man. Phenomenal. Love Kelly Thompson. Jordi Belair. She's one of my favorite on colors. She did colors for Wonder Girl. All right. Kelly Thompson, Jordi Belair together on a book. I'm there. Plus Chris Bachalo. Yep, that's how you say his name, Bachalo. Chris Bachalo. Who doesn't love a good Chris Bachalo cover? You're looking at cover C. He's doing this cover. He also does the ratio variant of this, which is a black and white version of this one. But yeah, I'm all in on Birds of Prey. I'm going to pre-order the Chris Bachalo cover, which is cover C. I'm going to get this. I'm going to give it a check. I'm going to check it out. Like I said, I'm a huge Kelly Thompson fan myself, so I'm very excited about this. All right, moving right along. This is when things start to get pretty good. Coming in at number 4. So, who here read Hellfire Gala 2023? Folks, it is phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. I haven't even finished reading it yet. I got like 80%. It's like a, I don't know, is it like a 70 page? It's like a 50-page monster. I'm reading and gasping and oh and ooh and ah. I'm not even done yet. But apparently the fallout from that is Fall of X, and then the X-Men get scattered, and now you have Nightcrawler debuting as a Spider-Man. Uncanny Spider-Man. Nightcrawler. How can you not? Scotty Young. Yeah. Dr. Paul, that Bachalo cover is fire. We already know Scotty Young sell out pretty much immediately. This actually has some really good covers. Cover A is great. Cover B is great. Scotty Young variant comes in at number 4. This next one I absolutely love. And I think you guys are going to love it as well. Coming in at number 3, this cover sold me on this book. That is a beautiful JR cover. John Romita Jr. That is a gorgeous cover. I just love everything about that cover. I like the composition. I love Captain America in this classic, incredible, heroic pose with the shield. I love the red, white, and blue against a white background. I love the big, bold, in-your-face Captain America logo at the bottom. That is an amazing cover. This is Captain America #1. It's another relaunch. J. Michael Straczynski's writing it, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm excited to see what he does with that. And the smaller one you see is the Carrie Andrews foil variant. Again, so folks, so something happened with Incredible Hulk 181 foil variant. It was a $3.99 book, right? Retail price. Some shops bumped up the price. A lot of shops were selling them for $10 or higher. That does happen. As a matter of fact, when I looked at the F.O.C. solicitation, it said check your retailer for price, okay? Or you can just pre-order it and get it for the $4 or $5. But you have the foil variant. It's pretty cool. But me personally, I'm going for the John Romita variant. I think that is absolutely beautiful. Whew! All right, catch your breath. There's still time. If you want to guess what #1 is, there's still time to put in your guess. You can win a free Spider-Man 7 first print for Spider-Boy. You're not going to guess it. I should, you know what? I should up the ante. Dr. Paul, I'm going to up the ante. We're going to do a Dungeons and Dragons giveaway ratio variant. If you can guess this week's #1 during this show, you got to type it in the comment section. If you can guess this week's #1, I will send you Dungeons and Dragons Saturday Morning Adventures #2 ratio variant. Sells for anywhere between $40 to $50, near mint plus. I will mail it to you if you can guess this week's #1. This is not a gimmick. It's just that #1 is so insane. Coming in at #2, absolutely beautiful. Silver Surfer, Rebirth Legacy #1. Guys, who remembers this time last year that JTC was A, he was only doing action figure variants, and B, his negative spaces were store exclusive. They was costing like $50. You had to order them through his website. They were selling for $100 and something in the aftermarket. The comic book gods have basically blessed us to have JTC do these incredible retail price variant covers, negative space. This is absolutely amazing. JTC, Silver Surfer, Rebirth Legacy, #1, negative space. This is going to sell out immediately. Look, I got Ultimate Invasion, Miles Morales, JTC. I got the Avengers, was it the Avengers Vision, JTC. The Blade, JTC is my favorite. That is awesome. And now we have, yes, En Fuego. Absolutely. This is gorgeous. The only reason this came in at #2 is because #1 is #1. That's the only reason. And let me say, at the end of the show, I'm going to give a shout out to one of my favorite people, June Lovin. June Lovin says I'm her F.O.C. GOAT. Oh, I appreciate that compliment. She was one of my earliest believers when I said My Little Pony 14 was going to be a big hit. She was out there with her Instagram megaphone. I believe in J-Dub. He said it. I believe it. And then the rest is history. So come again. No, sir. I did not say #1. I said #2. Don't misquote me on that. I actually just sold a #1 ratio for $75. That's what that's what they're going for. But I will do a #2. All right, no one. Listen, I love the fact that you guys respect me enough. You're not even going to try to guess #1. We had one guess. Ed said Transformers. That's actually a good guess because I'm looking forward to that. But no. Coming in at #1. You guys probably haven't heard of it. But so one of two things is going to happen. Either this is going to be a very big gimmick and it's going to make noise and then it'll vanish into obscurity, or I could possibly be right again and I could be predicting the next big thing. But when I saw this at SDCC, I said, oh shit, that is actually a very good. Here we go. I mean, and I'm not even sure how to describe it, but coming in at number 1 for the F.O.C week of August the 5th. Bullet Map. Yes, Bullet Map number 1. All right, so let me describe this real quick. Not sure exactly how to describe it, but this is a little bit of a game changer. So what it did, Bullet Map was doing NFTs. All right, it started off as digital art. They took the NFTs and built a story around the artwork. They got, I think Tim Seeley. Is it Tim Seeley? I got to look that up. No, it's not Tim Seeley, but they built a story around the digital artwork, right? And then what they did some kind of printing. I don't even know how to describe it, but the process, every single cover is different. According to them, no two covers are alike. So I'm scratching my head. So I'm like, so basically what you're saying is we're buying like a physical representation of a non-fungible token. According to them, that's what you're doing. Every copy that you order comes with its own digital copy, sort of an NFT. Now, this sounds like something, this is going to make you laugh. This sounds like something that Whatnot should have done, or it sounds like something that Bad Idea might have done. But they didn't do it. This is actually way better, in my opinion. Like, this is a better version. So what you get, these are the 3 different designs, and based on their printing process, every single cover is its own unique cover. So from what I read, the original artwork was, I want to say it was 1,000. I think it was 1,000. So they're going to print each book up. It'll probably have a print run around 3,000 to 5,000. So I predict there won't be a lot of these. But they say that every cover is going to be unique and you get your own NFT attached to the book. I'm all in. I like sci-fi stuff. I like apocalyptic stuff. Look it up for yourself. Put your fingers to work. Go Google it. But yeah, Bullet Map absolutely is going to come in at number 1, mainly for the fact that it's kind of scarce. It's kind of unique, so you got to pre-order it. I'm not even sure what a store would do to even order this. You know what I'm saying? So how do you even order this? I don't know. There's no cover A or B. You just order them, and then you just get what you get. So everyone just kind of, whatever you get is what you get. Oh, by the way, according to the publisher, they all come blind bag. So you have no idea what you're getting when you get it until you open it. If you open it, I myself am notorious. I don't open my blind bags. If I get something bagged, I leave it in the bag. I got Dead by Daylight number 1s. I got like 5 copies. I haven't opened up any of them. They're still polybag. So there's that. So yeah. Hey man, check it out, Dr. Paul. Hey man, I'm glad you liked the show. So yeah, there you are. There's number 1. Total shot in the dark. But when have I ever not done that, correct? So here we go. Let's go through the 10 again. Coming in at number 10, Alice Never After number 2. Such an amazing cover. This is the 1-in-10 ratio variant. Great cover. Ghost Rider, Wolverine, Weapons of Vengeance. I'm just a huge fan of both of them when they're together. They fight some giant demon. I love the covers. Coming in at number 8, Doomsday Special. Doomsday comes back from hell. He fights Supergirl and Martian Manhunter. You know, there's some goofy rumors going around that, oh, Supergirl might die. I highly doubt that. That would be a stupid way to kill Supergirl, that she fights her cousin's enemy. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. Oops. What was that? There we go. Number 7, X-Men 26. Love the corner box variant. Oh, and by the way, Emma Frost, Tony Stark, supposedly getting married. Yep, Star Wars, as always. Dark Droids, connecting variants. These are the first 2. Love the story. Go read it. Great story. Booyah! Chris Bachalo is back. Awesome cover. Kelly Thompson's writing. Birds of Prey number 1. Love it, love it, love it. Number 4. Fall of X. Nightcrawler is now moonlighting as Spider-Man. Who'da thunk? Scotty Young. It's probably my favorite cover this year. JR. Captain America number 1 debuts, new series, new villain, debuts a new villain. Carrie Andrews is doing a folio variant. Make sure you pre-order that folio variant. Those things go very quickly. Dude, JTC again. My goodness. Thanos, Silver Surfer Legacy. Incredible. And an absolute shot in the dark. I'm not going to say you heard it here first. I'm never going to claim that. But Blitmap, we'll see what happens. I'm going to order a few copies. Every cover is unique. You get an NFT with each one you buy. They all come blind bagged, so you have no idea. If your store orders it, they have no idea. All you can do is order a certain amount of copy. Each cover is unique. I love the covers. I'm digging the storyline. I will be ordering them. And thus, it's number 1. All right, folks. If anyone came into the show late, I had a guy named Tanner on here. He's on Instagram. I didn't even know he was a Hollywood exec / producer. I had no idea. The guy works in Hollywood. I didn't know. He does great content. He does lists the same way I do lists. He does a lot of lists and rankings on Instagram. Check him out. Also, you met my lifelong friend. You guys got to look at a lot of stuff I used to write back when blogging was a thing. If you think my F.O.C. list is hot and dope, you should find some of my blogs online. I found some of my archive posts, and we predicted most of the stuff that's on streaming back in 2009 when there wasn't streaming. We was like, this should be a show, this should be a show. Most of them are shows and movies now. This is why I love to do what I do. This is why I do an F.O.C. top 10 list. A couple of people told me I got one of the best lists out there. I don't know because I actually don't watch anyone else, so I have no idea. But as always, thinking to first year, so you heard it. All right, hey, if you put that in Instagram, make sure you tag me when you say that. But I will be ordering Blitmap. I want to see what it's all about. Yeah, guys. So before I log in, first of all, thank everyone for watching live. You guys are what makes the show fun. Also, I'm going to give you guys a head up. This phone right here has a list. And this list is lava. It is lava fire. Next week's list, I'm going to tell you, try to budget your money for next week's list. Dr. Paul, if you're watching, we are doing a show next week. We have to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 13 books that qualify for the top 10, but only 10 can make the list. Some of these are going to go bye-bye. Next week's list is fire. I already have it right here on my phone. It shall be revealed next week. Until then, I will see you guys